Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host. And today's episode is on New Earth Leaders, 3 checkpoints on your leadership readiness. Before we dive in, happy solstice, my sisters. Happy solstice. If you haven't yet, please go outside, put your feet to the ground. Breathe, ground, connect, grow your roots, bring up the beautiful earth vibration. And take some time with yourself to really envision and feel. Remember, it's so much more about the feeling state than the visuals. Yes, you want to see yourself in your new earth experience. Yes, you want to see yourself in the settings or environments that you have in mind for yourself, but more importantly, feel it. What does it feel like? Feeling strong, grounded, centered, clear, right? Authentically empowered, authentic. That's one of the main keys for the new earth, you being deeply connected to your deepest truth. Good. So from here, let's go ahead and let's dive in. The new earth leaders. Well, the new earth leaders are going to be very different than the old paradigm leaders, as you surely can imagine. We're already seeing, and we have already seen, new earth vibration quality kind of leaders. And we will be seeing old paradigm and density and old energy leaders in the future as well, right? It's going to be this shifting and changing, and we're going to have that great divide of, right, who's in the new earth and who is going to be still holding on to the old energies. We're already seeing it in the world. But the most important thing for you to recognize and for you to really own within yourself is that you are here to be a leader. Leaders create leaders. Leaders do not create followers. Leaders create leaders. And so every position is a leadership position in the new earth. It is really, really, really important for all of us to recognize this and to realize that, yes, there is no position too small or too big. There is no such thing as, oh, yeah, I'll never do that. I'll never be able to do that. I'm not a real leader. No, that's all small playing. That's all the ego stuff that is not going to fit into the new earth experience anymore. The new earth experience and your leadership is going to be exactly where you are at in your life. And maybe it's you being the leader of yourself or friends or your children or at work, right? And it's not so much about the position. The new earth leadership concept is really about the vibration. So when we're holding the highest light vibration, when we have embodied the highest light frequency available and sustainable in any given moment, we are in a certain amount of clarity. People with a lot of less light or in denser vibration have less clarity versus people that are in higher light frequency have more clarity. This comes back to the concept of that when we are in density, when we are in trigger, when we are in shadow, we cannot see the solution. We cannot see the way out. We cannot see or know or recognize the bigger picture, right? Because density and shadow and activation, it keeps us stuck in that real low, dense experience. And so the biggest importance about the new earth leadership is really that we get to be open and flowing. And let's say I am in a moment where I'm feeling less of my light. Let's say I'm in a moment where I'm in a bit of a stressful situation. And let's say my partner in that moment has more light access, right? Is in a much greater state of clarity. In this moment, as me owning my leadership, it is now for me to recognize this, that I'm not in clarity, recognizing he's in much more clarity. Okay, you lead. You know more right now. You feel more right now. Or if it's with a girlfriend, or if it's at work, right? This is going to continue to shift and change. At other times, I might be having more access to my light, to my clarity, to my highest vibration embodiment. And in this moment, maybe my partner is not in such clarity, is not in such a deep connection. And in this moment, it'll be important for him to then say, okay, what do you feel? What do you see? What do you get? Right? So the person who has the most light leads. In the New Earth leadership paradigm, it is not about the set roles. It's not about, oh, I'm the leader and what I say goes no matter what, right? That is definitely what we know from the Earth of the old experience, but that is not going to be the experience of the New Earth experience. So everybody is in leadership position, whether it's at home or at work or with friends. And we want to now begin to recognize the importance of having relationships that are high vibrational, right? So that we can also sometimes have somebody else guide us or lead us or assist us, right? So it's a back and forth. It's not just one person. No, we're all here together. It's about the togetherness. It's about all of us working together on this beautiful, beautiful New Earth manifestation, right? So again, it's important for you to understand that, yes, you are here to hold your leadership position. And that may shift and change, that may evolve, that may continue to grow, and you may change positions and you may shift into new cycles, right? We move through cycles as we move through life, and it's never going to stay the same. It's always going to keep evolving. It's always going to keep growing. And that's a beautiful thing. So not to hold on to any one position, not to hold on to any one truth, but to always stay open to who has the most light, and also to the recognition of that. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit cloudy right now. I'm feeling a bit disconnected. That's okay. Remember, it's okay, because we're all ascending. And at certain times, different ones of us, different timing for different souls, we're going to be purging. And this sense of purging is always going to give the feeling of a little sense of disconnect, right? The purging is always going to have a little bit of a flavor of, I don't have the clarity right now because I'm processing, because I'm purging, right? So, very important to remember, if you have not yet seen yourself in the New Earth vision for yourself in leadership, which means you are in your light, you are in your strength, you are in your clarity, you are in your grounding, you are trusting yourself, right? Good. Let's jump into the 3 checkpoints for you, for yourself. The first checkpoint, and I've already just slightly touched on them. The first checkpoint is, are you able to lead yourself? You, as a leader, you have to be able to lead yourself, meaning just exactly what I just said. You have to recognize when you're not connected. You have to recognize and admit to yourself, oh yeah, I'm a bit cloudy right now. Or you have to, realize, I'm not in my center. I'm not in that place to have that bigger vision, that bigger picture overview. And that's okay. Leader and leading yourself, it has to be a very honest relationship with yourself. You being able to lead yourself, it has to be deep, 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 deep clarity and honesty. You also, meaning as leading self, have to be able to recognize when you are in trigger, when you're in activation, right? So I'm running the examples of Mahatma Gandhi and Rosa Parks through this video. And, you know, they were in the past, but they had the new earth qualities for new earth leadership, right? And so even though they came across so much adversity, they had to control themselves. They had to lead themselves. They didn't have the freedom or the ability to blow up and get reactive and scream and yell. Neither should I. Neither should you. A true leader is staying calm no matter the adversity. And so if and when you find yourself getting activated, if you find yourself getting triggered, if you are finding your ego to be flaring up, you in your leadership position, you have to have the ability to catch that. You have to have the ability to see and recognize that, yeah, I'm activated right now. And that's okay. That's okay. And in that moment, you want to step back. Let somebody else lead. Let somebody else give an opinion. Let somebody else take that space. Or just simply wait and work with yourself, leading yourself back into center, leading yourself through the purging, through the clearing, back into clarity, right? Leading yourself is the most important checkpoint for you to remember every day, using the breath back into clarity, self-observation. So, so, so important. And then we have number 2. New Earth leaders are serving others. It's not about self-serving, ego-driven, ego-empowered, self-serving craziness. The New Earth leadership is about serving others. It's about serving the greater good. It's about serving the elevation of humanity. It's about serving the healing of humanity. It's about serving the well-being of humanity and the oneness, right? The New Earth leaders are all for the people. The New Earth leaders are all about the oneness consciousness. The New Earth leaders are all about the well-being and health for all. It's not about separation. It's not about one is better than the other. It's not about, only the money. New Earth is very much about the recognition of the souls that we really are deeply within, the souls that every person is deeply within. And so the New Earth leadership is very selfless in its pursuit. It's about building others, helping others, supporting others, teaching others, elevating others, enriching others. That's what New Earth leadership is about. It has nothing to do with the old ways of me, my, I. Which we're also seeing plenty of in the world. It has everything to do with being of service. Of service. And when we're talking about being of service, we're really being of service to the light. We're really being of service to the source, to God, the goddess, right? The divine spirit, whatever we want to call it, the highest good for all involved. And when we're keeping in mind the highest good for all involved, right, it comes back to that trickle effect of it's not about what's best for one any longer. It's about what's best for the masses. What is going to serve as many as possible? With my vision, with your mission work, what is it that you feel called to do? What is it that you feel called to take on, right? The goddess is here now. The goddess is back to be of purpose, right? To take on a mission. We're all here now taking on our mission roles. And so that mission is for others, to assist this planet, to assist this ascension, to assist the light embodiment, to assist the healing, to assist the well-being, the mental health, the emotional health, the physical health, the health of the earth. We're all depending on the earth. Without the earth, we can't even be here. So it's all about the mission work and having it be of a serving energy. Now, keep in mind, this does not mean to your depletion, right? Remember the concept of that you can only serve when your own cup is overflowing. So you have to make sure to always maintain yourself in your fullness. And this is a very important balance that you also need to bring into this leadership. Acceptance of yourself, right? That you understand and that you remember that, yes, even though serving others is a selfless pursuit, you do have to maintain yourself in your light, because otherwise you're not following through on checkpoint number one, leading yourself. You also have to be aware of when you're depleted. That's also leading yourself, right? You have to have that self-observation and that wherewithal to recognize when you are running on empty, when you are running on fumes, that you have the leadership of yourself, ability to say, I need to step back. I need to take a break. I'm not in my light, because when we're depleted and running on empty, we're also not in our light. We're also not operating from the highest wherewithal and guidance, right? When we are running on empty, we are also now attaching to thoughts and action, and we're already engaging too much ego again, just to keep pushing, and we're already in that imbalance of too much masculine energy, right? So as much as checkpoint 2, serving others, is the goal of your mission as a goddess, the balance side too is the importance of making sure you are filling your own cup first. You are rested, you are nourished, you are clear, you are centered, you are filled, so that your light can speak, so that you can feel the guidance, so that you can be in your most authentic light alignment, hence keeping your vibration as high as possible at any given moment. Good. Now let's jump to checkpoint 3, which is leaders are trusting themselves. New Earth leaders are trusting themselves. So, this is where I want to come back to the example of Mahatma Gandhi and Rosa Parks. And I chose those two because they're from the past, and we have a man and we have a woman, right? So Mahatma Gandhi, again, right? He was trusting himself in his mission work, in his vision. He came across a lot of resistance. And then he trusted himself so much that he almost starved himself to death. But nevertheless, he stuck to what he knew in his deepest soul, in his deepest being, was the truth. He didn't veer from that, right? He didn't let the resistance, the naysayers veer him off his path. So he stayed very much connected to his light. He stayed very much connected to his guidance, to his vision, for his truth, for what he knew needed to be the change, what he knew needed to be the correctness. Rosa Parks, right? So she was jailed for not giving up her seat on the bus, and she lost her job for not giving up her seat on the bus, right? And so she trusted herself. She trusted herself so much that that was correct. Like, it wasn't correct. It wasn't fair for her as a person of color to have to get up and give up her seat. She trusted herself in her depth of knowing of the rightness within. She knew it would have consequences, right? Harsh consequences, probably. But she stuck to it. She trusted herself, even though the resistance, even though the naysayers, even though the violence, right? Same with Mahatma. And so any good leader, and especially when we're talking about the new earth leadership, we have to be in our light. We have to be in our center, in our deep inner body connection, in our light, in our feminine energy, to hear and feel the truth, the ultimate truth, the highest truth. And we know it because it's a deep sense of rightness. It's not a mental concept. Yes, we can explain it through words and thoughts, sure, but it is a knowing, the knowing of rightness. It's calm, it's centered, it's grounded, right? It is that inspiration that takes us, that when you get clear on your mission because you're so inspired, right? Because you're listening to it, and it's this, you almost can't help but go with it and trust it and follow it and just keep working at it. Slow and steady wins the race, one step at a time, one day at a time. But it's this deep knowing that will get challenged. And so when this strong, powerful feeling happens, this feeling of rightness, this inspiration, this, oh yes, it has to come from the gut, right? Or from the heart. It has to come from the first, second, third, or fourth chakra. Then you know it's from your soul. If it's up here, it can be a download, right? It can be the vision of it. Yes, it can be something that comes in through the dreams. But when it's really from your soul, when it's really from your soul's path and your soul's intentions for this incarnation, you will feel it. It's a feeling and it's a knowing. That's how it starts. And then you will translate it into the steps and the possibilities and the logic around it, right? Yes, you will translate it, of course, through the masculine energy, through the thinking, through the processing of the intelligence and the logic and the reasoning and the planning and the orchestrating. Yes. But it starts down here. Trusting yourself, trusting yourself. And then with this trusting of self, right, we have to, of course, stay flexible. Because just because your soul is giving you this mission which is you giving yourself this mission to manifest onto Earth, right? Onto this 3D realm, still 3D, moving up individually, but collectively still 3D. So when you then have this mission, this knowing, this sense of rightness, this beautiful, beautiful, ecstatic moment of, yes, this is what I want to, this is what I must put myself behind. You will meet adversity, you will meet challenges, you will meet hurdles, you will come across challenges. And it's also in those moments that you have to keep trusting yourself. It's also in those moments that you have to remember that, yes, this is the mission. It's not always going to be easy. And you got to stay flexible. And that's the other part to trusting yourself, right? Trusting yourself, trusting this inner knowing, your inner guidance, and also trusting it as it leads you. Because you're going to have to stay flexible, hence staying in the feminine energy, right? We're staying connected in the feminine energy. We're staying guided by the feminine energies. We're staying living from the feminine energy. So you're always in your guidance. So you're always in your intuition. So you're always in your sense of knowing. So you're always in your sense of rightness. And when the hurdles come, and when the challenges come, and when the naysayers come, and when the opposition arises, you stay connected. So you stay in your breath. You stay centered. You stay listening. You stay hearing. And you will be guided step by step. And sometimes, yes, you're going to have to be flexible. You're going to have to work with people. You're going to have to maybe find a better way or work with a different person. But you never lose sight of the mission, right? So you're staying connected. You know your mission. Don't alter that. Trusting yourself in that. But along the way, staying flexible, staying attentive to your guidance, to your soul's communication, so that you can work with your higher self, the part of you that sees all, knows all, orchestrates all for the best outcome, always. So staying like water, always flowing, right? Staying in the feminine energy so you are fluid and flexible, just like that river, over obstacles, around obstacles, under obstacles, right? Ever flowing, ever continuous, as you keep your own cup filled, right? Self-observation, making sure, am I in my light? Am I full? Do I need to take a pause? Do I need to step back for a moment? Right? So you see how these three checkpoints are playing into one another, right? Leading yourself, staying committed to serving others, but also making sure you're serving yourself first. Your own cup has to be full, and trusting yourself, staying in your center, which comes from keeping your cup full, right? And self-observation of leading yourself so that you can complete it, so that you can stay in the continuous guidance and the trusting of yourself. Staying flexible, because things keep shifting and changing. Nothing stays the same, especially in this new earth paradigm. The vibrations are so high that we are being called to stay flexible. We must stay flexible. Not flexible with the mission, but flexible with the way on how to get there, flexible with the path that will take us there. And also staying flexible with the timing, right? It may take your entire life. And you will have days where you're feeling tired and when you're feeling defeated, and you will have days where you will feel it's too much, or I don't want to do it today. And that's okay too. Stay flexible with that as well. You can be flexible with yourself, coming back to leading yourself, coming back to serving yourself, right? You got to stay flexible with yourself and give yourself the time and space you need to sometimes process something that was disappointing or really not how you expected it to go. And you got to stay flexible with that. And maybe there are delays, and you got to stay flexible with that, right? And maybe you will have fluctuations within yourself throughout as you're questioning or doubting yourself, or where you're purging, and then you need to stay flexible with that. And to stay committed to yourself, leading yourself, serving others, but making sure your cup is full, serving yourself too, and trusting yourself and staying flexible so you can continue to trust yourself. These three, remember. Good, good, good. So happy solstice. And make sure that you really work with the frequencies coming in today. The light that is pouring in is tremendous, tremendous, tremendous. I'm sure it's already triggered you. If it hasn't, it probably will. That's okay. That's a good thing. More clearing, more purging, so that more and deeper light levels are able to be embodied by you. And I am so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you. And I hope you are breathing and feeling and staying grounded, as I want to send out my gratitude to you for being here, your energy, your time, your presence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please subscribe, like, share, so we can all grow together. And from here, I am sending love and light blessings to you and yours. Ciao for now.